Live from the KWQC Broadcast Center in downtown Davenport with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, it's not just a paint job, it's peace of mind. Discover how that one painter is transforming homes with professionalism, precision, and a personal touch. Also in our home improvement series, more than 30 years of experience in custom window treatments made in the QCA. We'll sit down with Great Plains Blind Factory. And from flooring made with pets in mind to durable waterproof options, Carpetland USA is celebrating more than 50 years of home upgrades. And that's where we begin today on Quad Cities Live. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier. Today we are focusing on one of the most important foundations of any home, your flooring. Whether you are renovating, building new, or just looking for an upgrade, the right flooring can transform your space. And joining us now is someone who knows all about flooring, Eric Langen, president and owner of Carpetland USA. Eric, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Morgan. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you. Always a good time.
Yes.
And today, that's exactly what we're going to do because we're talking about trends. Okay, so the company has been around, as we mentioned, for more than 50 years. So you personally, being with the company for so long, you've seen all kinds of trends.
The good, bad, and ugly.
The good, bad, and ugly. Nothing's ever ugly, is it? So we're going to talk first, I believe, about flooring with pets in mind.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't even upgrade flooring because they're like, I've got cats, I've got dogs at home.
Sure.
Why bother?
Yeah, the flooring industry has gone to the pets. Ever since COVID, there's been a big inflection of pets in the households. There's research that's been done that's 2/3 of every household has a pet.
Okay.
So the flooring manufacturers have really taken that to heart and really making floors that are very durable to the pet community. And one product or product line particularly, I should say, is the Pet Perfect line from Shaw.
Okay.
And they tout the 4P protections. Okay. Are you ready for them?
Yes, I'm excited.
Right, here we go. Poop, pee, pause, and puke.
Puke.
Unfortunately. Yeah. So
The 4 Ps.
the 4 Ps, but they've invested a lot of technology and a lot of intuition into this. So for example, the secret sauce in the carpet these days, this is a Pet Perfect carpet from Shaw.
Okay.
You'll notice there's our furry friend.
Oh, that's a cute dog. That dog would never.
Right. But here's what happens, you notice this blue backing?
Yes.
That's normally not a normal occurrence in carpeting. Normally it's the jute back or hard or soft back. But with this blue backing, it makes it impossible for liquid to get through the carpet and into the pad or the subfloor.
Okay.
So it makes it almost stain proof. Nothing's gonna get in the pad. That's the thing. You get a stain, it goes in the pad.
Yeah.
The pet always smells it. He goes back to the same place,
right.
redoes the stain, and you're doing that battle. But with this Pet Perfect carpet, that won't ever be a problem.
I mean, I never even imagined like somebody just deciding on getting a carpet when they have a pet. It's amazing that this technology has come along where people can feel like they can do that.
Yes, they can. We hear it all the time, like, hey, we're waiting to get our puppy house broken until we get new flooring, or we're waiting, unfortunately, for our old pet to pass away until we get new flooring.
Yeah.
You can, if you get the Pet Perfect or these more pet-specific friendly floors, you don't have to do that waiting. It's ready to rock and roll.
There's more peace of mind.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, amazing. So talking about flooring, maybe not the 4 Ps, but a big W, so waterproof.
Waterproof,
flooring.
yes. We sell a ton of it. If we're not doing carpet, more than likely in the house, we're doing a lot of waterproof flooring, and they've made this flooring uber durable. So to give you a little demonstration here. So this is what we call Rev Wood from Mohawk. This is not hardwood floor. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, right?
Okay.
So it looks like hardwood.
Yes,
so this is a waterproof floor. But
it's
I'm going to
waterproof and very resilient because I feel like you're about to
I'm going to
scratch it up.
Yeah, so this is keys.
Oh my gosh.
It won't leave a mark.
I would never.
Right? So imagine that 100-pound lab.
That made me nervous.
Right?
I can't even drag a chair across my floor at home.
Yeah, so don't do it on your current floor because the chance of that holding up's not well. But the newer floor technology, if you have something newer like this, it's going to hold up. So imagine that 100-pound dog trotting around with long nails.
Yes.
Or that teenage boy coming home from practice and has his baseball cleats on.
Yeah.
Where that used to really damage a floor like this, now it has a better than strong chance of holding up.
Well, and it looks nice too.
It's
I feel like there was like a period of time a number of years ago where you're like, yeah, that's a really great idea in theory, but I just don't absolutely love how that looks.
It looks
That's
fake.
beautiful.
Right. We've had customers at our showroom floor say, no, that's hardwood. It's like, It's not, but we're so
glad you think so.
Right? So that gives you the option of if you want the real hardwood or if you want the waterproof flooring. The technology and the visuals have been just spectacular.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so we've talked about carpet. We've talked about at least something that looks like hardwood.
Yep.
You also brought some tile with you here today.
Yeah, the cool things in tile, Morgan, and you're not going to get the best visual on this, but this is just an example. So these marble-looking examples. So imagine this in a 2-foot by 4-foot panel.
Okay.
So like tiles, we've been doing so many tile showers with 2-foot by 4-foot panels. You know, it used to be a 12-inch by 24-inch was a big tile format.
Yes.
Now we've doubled that, 2-foot by 4-foot. So then you can have like a matching pattern like this. So imagine like a Las Vegas restaurant or, you know, something really, really aesthetically beautiful. We're doing these all the time in new construction homes.
Yeah, we have some really pretty pictures right now on screen for anybody who's watching. Yeah, and I feel like people too, when they're doing like home renovations and whatnot, we're seeing larger bathrooms and larger shower spaces. So this is a really good option.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, and you do need professionals to install that. You know, it takes pros to do. When you're dealing with those large format tiles, we encourage you to have a professional installer do it. We have a lot of them in house, but that's something that you really don't want to mess with because it's high end and it's high risk. But if you have the right people doing it, the end result's fantastic.
It's going to look really nice. Absolutely. Okay, so you just pulled this piece out in front here.
This is real hardwood.
I don't know anything about what you're about to say, but that is like my favorite stain or color of hardwood.
So the trend in hardwood is white oak, right? And the boards are getting wider and longer. So this is probably the most extreme example I get. So obviously I didn't bring a whole plank in because they get to be 7.5 feet. That's huge.
It's huge, yeah.
And these boards is a 10.25 inch plank, which not so long ago, 15 years ago, 3.25 inch used to be a plank.
Considered large,
right? And then they went to 5, and now you get most of them are 7. But you can get a 10.25 inch plank by a 7.5 foot long board. Imagine that going down your foyer or your living room and kitchen. The aesthetics is beautiful. The white oak is just a clean, beautiful, natural look. Beautiful for new homes or a nice remodel.
Yeah, that is absolutely gorgeous, and I feel like it's kind of fun, like to switch it up a little bit. You know,
I'm a big fan.
I have a really old house with like hardwood flooring that's been there for a very long time, and the planks are so small.
Miniature compared to that.
So miniature, yeah, like narrow. I want to talk a little bit too before we let you go today about your commercial division. So we talk a lot of residential when you're on the show, but you guys are capable of doing work in all kinds of facilities.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing it up. Yeah, we're known for what we do in the homes, but we literally do install flooring and service it everywhere. We do churches and hotels and restaurants. We've done a ton of work at the Vibrant Arena.
Oh, wow.
Medical offices, suites at the River Bandits ballpark. Really anywhere and everywhere there's a floor that has a need. We have the capability to both sell it and install it. So yeah, we're literally everywhere. So
I know, and I'm specifically too thinking about that hardwood, like that waterproof one. That looks like hardwood would be so perfect in so many facilities.
A lot of bars, a lot of restaurants go that way. And, you know, and the cool thing is they even take it a step beyond. So they understand the residential setting, but a lot of manufacturers will even put more emphasis on the durability and make it a commercial grade product. So you're not sacrificing the visual.
Right.
So you still get the visual, but you even get more durability now that's in a commercial environment. So.
Wonderful. Okay, well, if you're watching right now, you want to take a look at flooring options and promotions or even store locations, just visit the website there on your screen. It is very easy, carpetlandusa.net. Eric, thank you. As always, it's been fun.
Thanks, Morgan.
It's fun for me to dream when you come on the show. Really is.
One of these days, we'll make it a reality.
You're going to come over. You are. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Morgan.
If you are thinking about a home refresh, One Quad Cities company is turning the painting process into a white glove experience. Find out what makes that one painter stand out in a crowd next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
If you've ever started a home painting project and felt overwhelmed by color choices, scheduling headaches, or inconsistent quality, you're not alone. Fortunately, there is a local solution that takes the stress out of the process and replaces it with professionalism and peace of mind. Joining me today is Jamie Schwind, owner of That One Painter, serving the entire Quad Cities area. Jamie, thank you for being here. I should say welcome back to the show.
Yep, thank you. Always
yes,
fun.
We are excited to have you and just really put the spotlight today on your business. So let's start with the name of the business, That One Painter. I love that, and it sticks with people, which is a really great thing to have when you have your own business. Is there a backstory behind it, or?
You know, it's a franchise that is now locally owned and operated. So it's just it's a fun pun. You know, you're sitting there with like a dinner thinking, honey, you know, who was that painter? That one guy, that one painter.
Yes.
So it's kind of just like right there. It's like, oh, that one painter, that's it. So I love the name with that. You know, kind of. So many different names, you know.
It's memorable.
Yeah, like the Schwinds, you're never going to really remember that anyway. So That One Painter's a good kind of.
I think it's great too. I love it. Okay, so speaking of, there are a lot of different painting companies out there. Talk a little bit about yours and what kind of sets you apart from the crowd.
So what's completely different about ours is that it's more of a business model. You know, we don't just send any painter. Yeah. We come in and we have a project manager that does the estimates, you know, decides what you guys really want to paint, what are your higher priorities, and then, you know, from there we go, once you approve the estimate, we'll go on and find our painters and put, you know, our best painters, say you want to do cabinets or anything with that. But also with us is we sub out a lot of our painters, so we have about 6 to 7 right now that's been with us, you know, since day one. We opened up in August of 2023. Wow. And it's kind of nice because we do multiple jobs at a time. Our project manager is there every step of the way, so it's not just, all right, thanks, you know, we'll send a painter. Our project manager will be there.
Person.
Yeah, so he's there every step of the way, making sure our painters, you know, are on time. He delivers the paint. He'll be your main point of contact. You know, he lets you know when our painters are on their way, when they're going to be done. Make sure that, you know, you are happy, the customer's happy with the progress and everything like that.
Yes, it's so nice to have like many of those people, like those folks that, you know, that you have, so that people can reach out to them and feel comfortable reaching out to them, you know, for just different updates and things like that. Okay, so we just saw some really beautiful photos of all kinds of different painting that your team has done. Choosing the right paint color can be very overwhelming. I mean, there's a shade of everything out there. I painted one piece of furniture in my house and I had like 10 different shades of olive green in front of me. So talk to us a little bit more about your complimentary color consultation.
So that's funny you say that, because even myself, 6 years ago we painted our walls and I had 4 different whites.
Yes.
And my husband's like, well, it's just white.
They
what
reflect light differently.
And I'm like, no, that's going to be cream on our walls. So, you know, I've just been very detail attention oriented, love color and all that. So, you know, I'll even come into the homes and we do certain areas, you know, do testing, do mock-ups. We have this app so we could have the entire room, cabinet, whatever it is,
nice.
5 different colors, whatever you want, and show it to you. So it's going to be the exact, you know, what you see in that picture,
you're getting.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it is, you know, once you have that color on, we can't take it off. You know, it's just like it's there, it's stuck. So, and you know, the blues, the greens, all that, it could just be so different.
It is. I specifically recall painting a room in my home. It was supposed to be a grayish color, right when like everything had to be gray, like 10 years ago, and it ended up looking blue in almost every light, like a baby blue. Yeah. And I'm like, I could have sworn I picked a gray. So it's really helpful that you do that. So this is a family-owned business after all. So talk a little bit about your values there and how those kind of translate into your business model.
You know, I love it because our project manager, we actually know him. You know, he's friends with our neighbors, so that kind of helps. My kids are Avery and Elliot, even though they're little, they just kind of love seeing it. The painters come over to our house, we'll help deliver paint. You know, my little guy Elliot helped drop off a paintbrush the other day, one of our painters. So we just make sure that, you know, even our customers, it's more about the relationship than the transaction. You know, we refer them, they refer us to people and everything. We help them, you know, if they need flooring or pressure wash. We kind of, you know, we're always there with them and for them. And I'm just such a picky, detailed person. So when we come into the house, you know, we do 2 final walkthroughs before we're said and done. Okay. Which is nice. I'll have my painter go back 5 times if I need him to go back. And you know, they will. But we don't never have to, which is nice. You know, so it's just knowing, you know, especially as a mom too, like who's in your house. You know, your cat, your dog, your kids are there.
That one painter. And that one painter.
And we, you know, respect your home like it's ours. You know, I always tell our painters and our project manager, he makes sure he's like, once you show up, every day you leave, you know, cleaner than it was before.
Yeah.
So we're not leaving anything around, you know, ladders, things like that for kids.
That is so huge, though, for a business, and just like word of mouth. I mean, honestly, because people have such great experience, and then they want to pass that on to their friends and family members, which
absolutely.
is what you want at the end of the day.
Yep, we've had one customer give us 4 referrals, you know, aunts, uncles, so it's like all in the family.
That's great.
Which is kind of nice.
That's got to feel really good. I want to talk a little bit about your services with real estate agents, because you can work closely with real estate companies or specific real estate agents, and that's got to be huge, because when somebody's getting ready to sell or perhaps getting ready to move in, this is kind of the first thing you want to do if you want to change the paint.
For sure. We work with a lot of realtors. Sarah DeWolf over at Real Buy Sell Quad Cities over there. She's great. Her whole team is. So we work with them a lot, and we have a ready sell service for a bunch of realtors where it's true. It's like, well, they need a paint, this and that, you know, to put the house on the market. And with our subs, you know how we have 7 that they could get in right away. We're not like, oh, wait 2 months, you know, we'll get in right away. With the buyers too, you know, we'll meet them at closing, go to the house during the closing with them and the realtors, and kind of get their estimates and everything. So it's really nice to kind of have that available, and we do, you know, free touch-ups for moving in and moving out with movers, kind of things. I mean, granted, drywall.
That is nice.
Different, but it's a nice service where our guys will hang lights and, you know, put doorknobs back together and all that.
That was going to be one of the questions that I wanted to make sure that I got to before we wrapped up, because you do have other services beyond. I mean, you know, the bread and butter is obviously the painting and the service that you do there, but there are some other things that you offer folks as well.
Yeah, we do. We do, you know, not just the painting. We do popcorn ceiling removal, wallpaper removal, which, you know, a lot of people want to stay away from. We have wallpaper install as well, too. Deck staining, epoxy flooring. I think there was a picture of the bathroom, if you saw that. We painted the top vanity. The lady wanted a completely new vanity, but it's too expensive. So it's kind of nice, you know, just paint over that. It looks completely new.
You do things that I think people don't even know you can do, which is really something, or the things that we really don't want to do. So that's always very nice. If you want to learn more about painting options or the variety of other services that we just talked about, visit that onepainter.com/quad-cities. That's where you're going to find all the information, and that is the #1 if you see that there at the bottom of your screen. Jamie, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate it. Still to come on QCL, from in-home consultations to motorized blinds and a lifetime warranty. Discover how Great Plains Blind Factory is transforming homes across the Midwest and right here in the QCA.
Quad Cities Live continues.
When it comes to transforming a room, few things have as much impact as the right window treatments. Whether you're looking to improve energy efficiency, add privacy, or elevate your interior style, there's a local company doing it all, custom made and built to last. Joining us from Great Plains Blind Factory is Linda Moss, a store manager, and Christy Shelby, a design consultant. Ladies, welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for, yes, I'm so excited to talk with you. You guys brought so many great examples, which we will get to, because I know everybody is wondering. So Linda, let's start with you. For anybody who may not be familiar, tell us a little bit about Great Plains and you know, what makes you guys so special and so unique.
Yeah, we were founded in 1993, so we've been around for a while.
You have, yeah.
And the owner had the mission of making locally manufacturing window treatments to help the customer and also the community.
Yes.
So. So that's kind of been our mission over the years.
For decades, absolutely.
Yes, decades, 32 years.
Truly amazing, and
so,
you manufacture a lot of products here locally.
Yes.
So talk about what some of those are, because I think a lot of people really like the idea of that, getting something that's made in the QCA.
Yes. So here is wood blind, faux wood blind.
Oh, that's pretty.
So that's, you know,
cordless.
Cordless. Everything's cordless now.
It's so, yeah, everything.
Yes.
It truly is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
And that's made here in the Quad Cities.
Yes.
Right here in Davenport. Right here in Davenport.
Yep.
Very cool. That's awesome. And Christy, you know, you're a design consultant, so you work, as you guys are getting this one out, with clients, us directly. So talk about what that entails when it comes to you know, what you're at. Oh, what have you done here?
Yes. This is a top-down, bottom-up cordless cellular shade.
Oh my gosh.
So that you can have your privacy in your master bedroom, and it does different levels.
That's awesome.
Most people do them in their master bedrooms.
Yeah.
And Yeah, they just
and very easy
and they can
to
be motorized
maneuver.
as well.
Yeah, that is nice. I really love the idea of kind of eliminating that like dangling cord,
Yes.
you know, whether
Yes.
it's pets, whether it's kids or
Right.
whatever. It's just nice to not be using that.
Yes.
Yeah, so Christy, I wanted to ask you kind of how you work with clients to bring their vision to life when, you know, you're dealing with something that truly there are so many options.
The most important thing is listening.
Okay.
Listening to our clients.
That's nice, yeah.
And understanding what they're trying to accomplish, what they've had in the past, what they don't want again, and just achieving that up-to-date look too is what they're looking for. Something easy to clean is what most people ask for.
Oh my goodness,
easy
yes.
clean.
Okay,
easy
so
maintenance.
typical, you do in-home consultations. So what does that look like? What are you looking for when you go and make those visits?
We, you can call into our store, into our new showroom. We've got a brand new showroom.
Okay.
And if you are uncomfortable visually, visually just
Yeah,
not.
like how do you help people choose, like when there are just so many different options out there, especially like, I'm not even talking about like the, you know, the stylistically, but even color options, you know, it feels like such a commitment for people, which has to be hard.
Yes, we want to make it easy from beginning to end. So just let us come into your home, open it up to us, show us. We'll lay it out there for you. Just tell us what you don't like, and we'll find what you do like.
That's easy to do. Absolutely. Okay, so what factors should people consider when they're looking for the right window treatment?
Sunlight is a big one. Privacy is a big one. Just function of that shade. What do you need it to do for you?
Absolutely. Like I remember going, you know, even in my own bedroom, I was like, you know, do I want like the whole blackout shade type of thing? Because I don't, I like the look of something else. And so I feel like there's a lot of different questions, you know, that you have to ask yourself when you're doing that. So Christy, what would you say, like what product categories are you finding homeowners asking for a lot?
Motorization.
Okay.
Yes, motorization.
Oh, and you've got a remote. Linda's got a remote. Oh my goodness.
So easy.
Don't be afraid of motorization.
I love that.
So many people shy away from it. They think something's going to go wrong.
Yeah.
That's not the case at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can stop
We are there
it.
for you too. Customer service. We've been doing it for over 30 years. We will help you. We'll serve you.
And I feel like technology too has come such a long way. It's not just like you bought something that's motorized and now it doesn't work and it's never going to work ever again. It just absolutely doesn't have to be like that.
And this is how easy it is now. You just plug it in to this little, it's like a cell phone charger. So you just plug it in right on the headrail here.
Rechargeable
and then
motor.
Plug it into the outlet every 8 months.
Oh my gosh.
Once every 8 months to a year, so depending how often you use it.
Yeah.
And it's so easy.
I'd lose the charger before.
You can't do that. You have to put it
There's
in your
also,
drawer.
for the new construction out there, there's hard wiring that you can
If
have
you're
in your
building a
home while
new
you're
home.
building a new home.
Then you don't have to charge it.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's already there, can be hooked.
Yes. Okay. Well, before we let you guys go, Linda, I did want to ask about the warranty. I feel like that is something that you guys have offered forever, and it's got to give customers some real peace of mind.
Yes. Well, since we make it there, we have all the parts. We can fix it. It's not like if you buy it somewhere, you have to, you know,
ship things from here to there. And
you just bring it to the factory, and we can fix it.
That is wonderful.
Or if you need a little bracket or a part, or we have all that too.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so some good peace of mind for customers.
Yes.
And if anybody watching would like just a little more information about the process, if you loved hearing from Christy, if you want to take a closer look at the products that are available, you can visit them online at GreatPlainsBlindFactory.com. I want to thank you ladies so much for joining us today. And you have your,
we just got this today.
Just got it. Okay, I want to give Linda a chance to give a shout out. 2025 Locals Love Us Award winner. So congratulations to all of you, your entire team. Thank you so much for coming in today. Yes, of course. Still to come in our second half hour, the Figgy is now home to the largest public art display in the state of Iowa. We're going to take a closer look at Evanescent Field, which was officially unveiled just this past weekend. Plus, improving our homes by taking a good hard look at the clothes in our closets. We're going to get some money-saving advice in our financial moment with Heidi.
And we have a look at your latest First Alert forecast as the second half of Quad Cities Live comes your way right after this.
accurate and reliable. This is your First Alert Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Eric Maitland.
Well, we were talking about this yesterday. We'd start our Thursday with a lot of clouds, even some scattered showers, and even a few funnel clouds, cold air funnels, nothing to worry about. They stay up at the base of the clouds. And then in the afternoon, we'd start breaking this cloud cover up and getting some more sunlight. As you can clearly see here in the Metro Quad Cities, even Burlington, after being stuck in the cloud cover for much of the day, you're starting to break out into a little bit of clearing, and that's a trend that will continue. We're not necessarily done with the rain completely, but I think we can kind of see an end to it. Here's a look at Doppler radar, and there's the last line of showers, at least for the time being, lining up with Interstate 80, and it is dropping south. It will leave the area as we go through the evening hours, and once we clear out, that should be it. And we'll look at clear skies tonight, and as a result, some chilly temperatures. There you see some of the heavier rain showers right around Geneseo, or just west of Geneseo, right down Interstate 74 between Alpha and Galesburg, and just outside of Muscatine now. And as we look to the north, yeah, nothing really following this up, so that might about do it for the rain showers. We'll keep an eye on the radar through the evening. Here's a look at our satellite image, and you can see that we've got some broken cloud cover continuing to feed in from the north, and that means a lot of blue sky between those clouds. And there you can see that very clearly on our high-resolution satellite. Thicker cloud cover off to the south, and that's where temperatures are a little bit cooler. 56 in Burlington, Galena at 60 with 61 in Dubuque and 61 in beautiful Savannah. Winds coming in from the west-northwest at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, occasionally gusting a little over 20. You can see the trend clearly here on Exactrack. Our skies clear overnight. That's going to set us up for some low to mid 40s, so it will be a chilly night. And as we go into our Friday, the first half is sunshine, and then the second half will start bringing in clouds, and maybe late Friday evening into Friday night, a few isolated showers. As far as temperatures are concerned, then we'll be dropping from the 60s into the 50s and eventually mid 40s overnight. And then as we get into our Friday, which will start with plenty of sun, that'll give us a nice boost on temperatures. And even as we bring in those clouds for the afternoon, we should top off around 70 degrees. Join us for that full 7-day forecast later this evening.
Art has the power to transform spaces, and now the Quad Cities is home to the largest public installation in the state of Iowa. It's called Evanescent Field, and it's lighting up more than the skyline. Joining us today is Joshua Johnson, co-senior curator at the Figge. Joshua, thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk with you after what was such an incredible weekend, the unveiling of Evanescent Field at the Figge Art Museum. So, I mean, how was it for your team and for all of you guys there? It had to have been a special moment.
It was a wonderful moment. I mean, we have been thinking about the unveiling of this light sculpture by Leo Villarreal for, it's been 20 years in the making, really. Ever since the building was completed, it was always the intention to light this double-walled curtain wall with a lighting project of some kind. And then really for the last 10 years, we've been kind of talking with Leo to make this all happen.
Wow.
So, and then to build up to this fantastic public unveiling, which had, in my 10 years at the museum, the most people I've ever seen at the museum at one time. It was just great to feel that kind of community support and feel that kind of community gathering around this art piece. It was a wonderful time.
Absolutely. Okay, so here we're watching a video of, you just saw it light up, and you and I were both there over the weekend on Saturday evening to watch this all happen. Truly incredible. It was like you felt like you were really part of something. Everybody counted down, from like 10, and just people, it kind of like took your breath away. And I can only imagine somebody who's been involved with or working with the Figge for all of these years, seeing this come to fruition after it's been talked about for more than a decade, finally happening. It was just awesome. Okay, so let's get to the nitty-gritty, so to speak. How does Evanescent Field actually work? For anyone who has missed maybe Melissa being on the show before and kind of explaining it, there's a lot of technology here.
There is a lot of technology here. So there's over 5,000 linear feet of lights that actually make up this project. So over a mile of lighting weaves in and out through the curtain wall of the museum. And then there's all sorts of kind of coding that happens to actually make the lighting happen, to make the light sequences, the different colors, the motion that's happening. All of that is being done through coding that Leo Villarreal has created specially for this piece. And some of it is generative too. So some of it, the coding, he has set up kind of rules and parameters of what the lights can do. And some of it will kind of change without him necessarily choosing when it changes. And all of these different sequences too, it'll never repeat in the same way. So there are, if you look at the facade, that same vision of it will happen again, but never for the same duration and never in the same order ever again. So every time, you know, really you should come see it every night because it's going to be different every time.
You're going to see something new every time. I mean, even the videos and photos that we are looking at right now, it has looked different every time. It was like a glowing, you know, pale pink and white when it was lit up on Saturday. Now we've been seeing videos of a very you know, deep pink and purple. It is super cool to see. So tell us a little bit more about the artist, Leo Villarreal. We got a chance to see him speak. Not only did he speak at a private event at the Figge inside the building to a lot of folks who have been donating and wanting to see this come to fruition for a very long time, but he also spoke to the crowd outside, which was very cool to hear from the artist. Tell us a little bit about him and, you know, how this vision that he was trying to convey with this work.
Yeah, so Leo Villarreal, his whole kind of, you know, he comes at this from a sculpture point of view and also a background in set design, and then also trained at, especially in technology and coding.
Right, yeah.
And then actually his whole interest in this combination of light and sculpture and space and architecture really started from a trip to Burning Man when he was very young. And he wanted to create a light sculpture that would basically mark the top of his RV so he could find his way back through the desert in the early days of Burning Man.
I did not know this story.
Yeah,
That's
it's
amazing.
a great story. So he put these strobing lights in this configuration on top, and he combined it with code and space, and you know, these motion lights that guided him back, and that's what he's been kind of working on ever since, is using lights as this creation of these gathering places, these digital campfires that he refers to. And he's done the same thing at the Figge.
Yeah.
And you were kind of asking, you know, what was he kind of thinking about when he's making this piece? And of course, this is a piece that's tailor-made for our community and about our community. So really the piece is visually trying to tell the kind of story of us. So it's responding to the beauty of the river, the beauty of the sunset on the Mississippi River, and also the activity of the museum and the activity of the Quad Cities downtown area. He's responding to all of that. In terms of the actual color palette, it's interesting too, because he fairly recently finished the Illuminated River project in London, where he was able to light 9 bridges across the Thames.
Wow.
And during that process, he was very interested in kind of the history of the Thames. So he's looking at paintings by Monet of these bridges, or of J.M.W. Turner.
And just being influenced by all of that.
Of course, and those colors, those kind of luscious colors come into the color palette that he selected for the Figge. And of course, you can see those in our same skyline here too.
Yeah, we've got a really cool thing happening here in downtown Davenport, and just something special for the entire Quad Cities. Again, this is a permanent installation. So folks, you can go and see Evanescent Field at the Figge anytime you want to, which, you know, I'll just speak for you and just say that this is really in tune with your mission, you know, as the Figge, and just bringing people together. That's exactly what we saw over the weekend. And if you're watching today, we've got the website on the screen. So if you want to take a look at other exhibitions that are underway now inside the Figge, there is so much to see. I'm talking 3 floors of stuff. Or if you want to learn about what's to come, just visit FiggeArtMuseum.org. Joshua, thank you so much. It was just fun rehashing everything with you today.
No, it was great to talk about it again.
Yes, thank you. Coming up on QCL, how to save money on clothing. We'll get some advice in our financial moment with Heidi coming up next. It is time now for our financial moment with Heidi, and today we are trying to save some money on clothing. Heidi Hughes-Camp Collins is our financial contributor, and she is joining us now. Heidi, welcome back.
Good to be here.
Thank you so much. I love this topic, maybe because it hits a little too close to home. But I was really trying to think about it today, and I do feel like it can be especially difficult to save money on clothing if you're somebody who lives somewhere like we do with 4 seasons. So I feel like every time the seasons change, you feel like it's time to go shopping, especially if you have growing children at home that are constantly growing out of everything. So that is an issue that you know, we sometimes cannot solve, but you are going to give us today some tips and some advice on how to save money on clothing. Now, the first thing we need to do is recognize the problem. You called it a come to Jesus moment.
Yes, a come to Jesus moment with your closet.
Yes, I need to do that.
Okay, so everyone needs to do this activity. Take every item of clothing that you own, underthings, swimsuits, socks, pajamas, everything. Put it on your bed.
Oh boy.
You're going to be overwhelmed at how much is there.
I'm overwhelmed when I do my laundry. So I can only imagine putting everything, and I've done this before, not with everything that I own, but like a good amount of stuff, like stuff hanging in the closet where you're like, I just need to get through this.
Yeah.
And it's a lot to look at.
What you do next is you take a picture.
Okay.
Then I want you to make 2 copies of that picture. One goes in your wallet.
Okay.
So when you're out shopping, you'll have that to look to.
Oh.
And, you know, and then one, you know, in your living room or your kitchen or wherever you do your online shopping.
Okay.
You know, where you sit with your tablet or your phone and your coffee and, you know, you scroll, you know, and shop. You know, and these are reminders to you that you don't need that much.
Right.
You know, so it's psychological.
Right.
But it's meant to let you know, hey, I'm coming from a place of plenty and I just need to get organized.
Well, I love that tip because you can also look at that picture and go, you know what, I already kind of have something like that. And if I didn't want to donate it already or get rid of it in some way, that means I must still like it. So I don't need to go out and buy a whole new one or something like that.
Right.
No, that's really good. This one I've heard before, and it is good advice if I would just put it into practice. Your new mantra, 1 item in, 1 item out.
Yes. Hard to do, but really important. So you make a pact with yourself. If you buy something, something else has to be donated or given away or something like that. So this keeps you honest and it keeps your closet fresh.
Yeah, no, that's a good one to do. You know what, I just took Darby shopping over the weekend and I thought the same thing. And it's kind of tough with kids because when they still sort of fit into some of their clothing, you're like, do I really want to get rid of it? It's already so hard to dress them as it is. But it is a really good mantra, like, because now you're in charge of their closet too, at least while they're little. And it can be tough to keep on top of. Okay, so this is a really great one because like I just mentioned, I took Darby shopping a little bit over the weekend. And your next tip is plan some fun activities on the weekends that don't include shopping.
You know, there's so many just really fun, inexpensive things that you can go do. You know, go to the museum.
Yes.
Go to the library. Take a walk. Take a hike. You know, meet a friend for coffee. Something like that.
Yeah.
Weirdest thing happened to me this weekend, or well, last Friday. I was talking to a client and they said, "Oh, what are you doing this weekend? Shopping?" Like that was the most normal thing in the world that if you had free time, you would shop.
It's because you have cute clothes. That's what they ask.
But, you know, I thought to myself, we have to get beyond that because, you know, and plan some things so we're not always shopping.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that doesn't become like the highlight of the weekend because I keep bringing up kids, but like if that's something that you teach them, you know, we're going to go shopping. I mean, that's going to be the thing they look forward to as opposed to all the fun things that we talk about here on QCL, like the things at the museum and the libraries and all of that. So this one I love. If you find something that you absolutely have to have, wait a week.
Wait a week.
Okay.
So we are wired to want to go for that immediate gratification. Those feel-good chemicals, you know, that we all get when we put something in the cart, whether it be in person or virtually. You know, go ahead, if you're shopping online, put it in the cart, but don't press buy.
Right.
Give yourself a week to feel into it and, you know, really be mindful of whether that's a good purchase that's really going to bring value to you in your closet or whether it was just an impulse.
Yes, and I'm notorious for that. Like, I'm notorious for having a full online cart at like every single one of my favorite stores. They just sit there and I'm like, I don't really want to pull the trigger. But, you know, that's a good one as well because sometimes what I'll do is I'll leave it in there for a while and hope that, you know, if it goes on sale within the next 7 days and it's meant to be, if it's sold out, then it wasn't meant to be.
Right.
You know? I think that's a good way of doing it. Well, all good advice here today, and we're going to continue on with this next time Heidi joins us. In the meantime, if you want to learn more about the variety of services that Heidi offers, visit her website, hhcinvestments.net. And a reminder, you can see all of our segments together by visiting our website and clicking the tab for Quad Cities Live. Once again, Heidi, thank you so much for being here. Up next, our Throwback Thursday segment, including this adorable toddler picture of our very own Eric Maitland. The story behind this photo, next.
It is time now for a special segment that we do, a Throwback Thursday segment where, you know what, it could have happened a week ago, could have happened 13 years ago, but we like to show a little photo or video for a throwback.
Or much longer ago than that.
In your
this
case.
is my first one, by the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad we could have you because you're going to have some good ones, including today.
Turn back the Wayback. Turn on the Wayback Machine. I mean, way back. I mean,
way back.
Don't do the math, folks, but this is probably when I'm trying to think, I was probably about two and a half years old. So this would be summer of '67.
What's your Gilligan hat?
Yeah, so you see the pool in the background there. Well, my mom and dad got me my own little pool in the shape of that blue boat tub. So I'm knocking off two birds with one stone here. I've got my own pool, and I'm captain for the first time.
You are.
But I'm just thinking this was appropriate because here we are, ready to kick off summer.
Yeah.
And this is how I would love to spend all of my summers: boating, swimming, and wearing a little Tahitian hat.
Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Yeah, that is perfect.
Well, you can see, and this is just outside of Detroit, Michigan, where I started growing up, and you can see even there I had the farmer's tan.
Yes, the farmer's tan.
Those red arms.
It's a good look. It's a popular look. Yeah, absolutely. And mine, not so far of a throwback. It just goes back to this weekend last year because I was preparing for the Quad Cities Running Festival where I ran the half marathon. So it was my second half marathon that I ran. So I tried to take some pictures along the course. Not a lot of them turned out because when you're running, I mean, even as slow as me, it's hard to get some good ones. Yeah. So this was just along the course, Campbell's Island. So once you round Campbell's Island, that's the 10-mile marker.
Yeah, you hit that 10-mile mark.
Yeah, and then you kind of make your way back to East Moline and the Rust Belt after that. But it was a tough one. We finished it, and it has ensured that I am not doing it again.
Well, it looks very sunny and warm there, too, and that makes it tough to run. But, you know, you see that 10-mile mark and you think, okay, I just got like a 5K to go.
Yeah.
Boom, I'm done.
Yeah, that is true. The worst for me was miles 7 through 10 for whatever reason. That was not good.
Kind of hit a wall.
That was not good at all. So yeah. Anyways, good luck to everybody though that is going to be running it this coming Memorial Day. It's a great race, a lot of fun. All right, thank you so much for watching QCL. Your news at 4 is up next.